Gene, you're hitting it on the head. Look, we're talking about students from Virginia Tech, marketing students, who may not know the full guts of what it takes to run a business, but there's a pretty good bet they understand what Facebook and Twitter can do to help you with your business. I recently met a 13-year-old girl who told me she had run away from home, said that her father had been arrested and charged with making methamphetamine. A stranger took that girl in. This is Georgia's story. Gene, one of the twists is a video showing one of the deputies involved in this most recent incident. He says on camera that years earlier, when he was working as a cop with the Christiansburg Police Department, he assaulted a man that was in his custody. He said that he assaulted this prisoner who was, quote, begging for a confrontation. School districts have been told there won't be any extra funding this year. Done and done. That means locally, officials will have to make some very hard choices. Look, Gene, I got the good story of the day. These men and women that we're talking about left Southwest Virginia some 14 months ago. They are your neighbors, some are students, and some probably work just down the street. I did. This man told me that his wife will give birth to their first child sometime this weekend. It is a boy. This man also is the first person to see Noah Thomas since that little boy disappeared last Sunday. Social media was the key here. Now, police in Little Rock, Arkansas told me this could have gone one of two ways: a body or a girl found alive. Hey, Chris, this story began with a tip. It's how lots of my stories start. A real estate agent out of Montgomery County told me that someone was on Craigslist pretending to be him, trying to rent a home that the real estate agent was actually trying to sell.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Chris Hurst.
And I'm Jean Jadhun. Hard questions about how Noah Thomas ended up inside a septic tank behind his home and when investigators first looked there. WDBJ7 New River Valley reporter Orlando Salinas is live from Pulaski County this evening. Orly, you spoke with a technician who discovered Noah's body.
I did. This man told me that his wife will give birth to their first child sometime this weekend. It is a boy. This man also is the first person to see Noah Thomas since that little boy disappeared last Sunday. What do you remember seeing right away that you said, oh my God? I caught up with Jonathan Abatey at Montgomery Sanitation Services in Christiansburg. He told me the septic tank where he found Noah Thomas was about 4 feet wide, 8 feet long, and 5.5 feet deep. I'm told it's possible that someone stuck inside that tank might be able to hold on to a plastic pipe shaped like a T.
I mean, it's possible, but it'd be for
a little guy.
For a little guy, it'd be hard. 5.5 foot of water, it'd be hard.
Abatey said when he arrived at the home Thursday, 2 investigators led him to the septic tank. The Pulaski County Sheriff, through the County Public Information Officer, said agents removed the lid before Abatey got there. They saw sludge, put the lid back on, and called the sanitation company.
Went down there, pulled the lid off the tank, and started pumping, and that's when we seen the little boy down there.
Can you tell me what you actually saw?
I was going to say, when we started pumping, I got halfway down in the tank, about halfway down into the tank, and that's when I seen clothes. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about that.
That sanitation truck has been impounded by the FBI. Also, the autopsy on Noah Thomas's body is complete. Those results have been sent to investigators. Also, the question about whether investigators ever searched that septic tank before Thursday. I asked that question directly. I received a response to the public information officer. He reached out to the sheriff, who said, quote, that information was not conveyed to me, meaning the public information officer, and it is part of the investigation, end quote. Live in Pulaski County, Orlando Salinas, WDBJ7.
Thank you for choosing your hometown news leader, WDBJ7. Good evening. I'm Jean Jadhun.
And I'm Chris Hurst. Tonight, the family of the Christiansburg teenager who had been missing for days is on its way to Arkansas to pick up their daughter. WDBJ7 New River Valley reporter Orlando Salinas is live with details about how police tracked Asia Lewis down and the man police say she left with.
Social media was the key here. Now, police in Little Rock, Arkansas told me this could have gone one of two ways: a body or a girl found alive. This apartment complex in Little Rock, Arkansas is where police say Christiansburg teenager Asia Monique Lewis was found Thursday just before midnight.
It could have ended up either way, on both extremes, and we're just so fortunate that we were able to assist the Virginia authorities in locating this female.
Since Tuesday, the media has shown this image of Asia Lewis, who police say left Christiansburg High School Monday with a man she may have met online. Here's the irony. The social media that may have placed Asia in danger in the first place was the same social media that may have saved her life.
Using the line of social media communication that had been established between Asia and her friends, investigators were able to provide instructions to Asia regarding how to leave the apartment and walk to an officer waiting at a specific location.
Arkansas police released a 6-page incident report almost immediately. Donald Bruce Quessenberry Jr. has been arrested and is being held in a regional jail in Arkansas, while Asia's family is on their way to get her. It's Christmas all over again for this family.
Oh, absolutely. I'm pretty sure that, that was a long ride there. There's going to be some fussing going on, but I'm pretty sure that hugs will be the overwhelming theme.
In Christiansburg, Orlando Salinas. Police in Arkansas say that Donald Quessenberry Jr. is being held on a car theft charge, and based on the allegations involving Asia Lewis, bond will probably be denied. It is unclear right now if Quessenberry will fight extradition to Virginia. Live in Christiansburg, Orlando Salinas, WDBJ-7.
In your home, business, or church isn't cheap. In Wythe County, there's a small congregation that says it's stepping out in faith to get repair work done on its 100-year-old church. WDBJ-7 New River Valley reporter Orlando Salinas takes us to Rural Retreat tonight.
That's the nice-looking side. This side's getting the facelift. For more than 100 years, this room behind the pulpit of Asbury Methodist Church in Rural Retreat was used for storage. This church has deep roots. Generations are buried behind it. The divots in the pews are a testament to a busier time. But 10 years ago, Asbury Methodist almost died.
The average attendance was 9, some Sundays less. 4 or 5 Sundays ago, we had 16 children. We had 48. We've seen pastors come and go.
Adam Linkus is all of 32. 10 years ago, after several stints filling in as the church's piano player, Linkus decided to join.
God spoke to me at our very piano bench and said, I'm not done here. There's still a spark. I need somebody to help me fan the flame.
2 weeks ago, the church noticed how lopsided the pulpit was and decided to fix it.
We were going to repair a sagging floor. When they tore it out, obviously it's much worse. We had structural damage.
Some of that Linkus blames on varmints like groundhogs that dug underneath a century-old foundation. Back then, pastors were called circuit riders, covering hundreds of miles and tending to dozens of small churches, including Asbury. Today, Linkus says this church of 40 folks has a meals ministry and wants to do more, but
we can't do those functions in this church because we don't have that facility. So while we're fixing this, we're just stepping out in faith.
In Rural Retreat, Orlando Salinas, WD.
I'm Chris Hurst. Gene Jadhun is off tonight. Our top story, scam alert in the New River Valley. Real estate agents are angry after learning that someone has been trying to scam potential clients. WDBJ-7 New River Valley reporter Orlando Salinas is live for us tonight with more on this story.
Hey, Chris, this story began with the tip. It's how lots of my stories start. A real estate agent out of Montgomery County told me that someone was on Craigslist pretending to be him, trying to rent a home that the real estate agent was actually trying to sell.
And he says, this is the landlord. I used to live in the house, and I can assure you that it's in good condition. I relocated to California with my family.
John asked me not to identify him. He says he's been a realtor for 10 years, and about a month ago, he was caught in a scam that brought several strangers to the home he's listing.
As I was contacted by 4 or 5 people and they sent me email transmissions, and I myself was in the text message category with this joker.
That's putting it nicely. John saved emails and text messages from a man who identified himself only as Gary. No last name and no address. Big fat red flags.
The other thing you can do is use the internet to your advantage and go ahead and Google stalk the person that's contacted you about something that you found on Craigslist or another unsecure source.
I called the number for Gary and got this message.
The Google subscriber you have called is not available.
John says the scam began when his photos were copied and pasted onto Gary's real estate ad on Craigslist.
And then the individuals that contacted him, They drove up to the property where our real estate sign was in the yard.
Hi, this is Orlando Salinas. I'm calling about your home that you have for rent in Blacksburg. Please call me back. 305-495-9733. John told me what really steams him is how honest people who need a place to live are being tricked.
Then they called me and they were like, hey, we're up at the property. We really like it. Can we see it? And I'm like, absolutely. And we've got money in hand now.
Okay, so here you go. John says as best as he can tell, no one has lost any money in this scam. And I have a quick update for you. About 30 minutes ago, Chris, John reached back to me and said that he had been in touch with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, who told him, look, when you have these Google numbers, a lot of times when you're trying to track it down, good luck, it's awfully hard. And they also believe it's very possible that this specific scam is coming from overseas. We're live in Blacksburg. Orlando Salinas, WDBJ-7. No. Thank you for choosing WDBJ-7. Good evening. I'm Orlando Salinas in for Nadia. A bittersweet Sunday for the University of Richmond. The school held its graduation ceremony. It confirmed yesterday that 2 of the victims in Friday's deadly hot air balloon accident were members of the women's basketball coaching staff. The school shared a moment of silence. Today, search crews found the remains of the 3rd victim in that accident. Their last moments were caught on a cell phone camera and then posted to social media. Alexandra Field has more. Good Sunday morning, everyone. I'm Orlando Salinas. Susan has the day off. New this morning, Roanoke police say a man who went missing around 8:30 last night has been found safe. Police searched a 5-block area around the 3000 block of Hollins Road. They say the 69-year-old man has dementia and was found around 11:30 last night.